I'm Brent Gerken, president of the Gerken Companies. Our roots started back in 1949 with my grandfather starting in the dirt and sewer business. Today we operate 16 asphalt plants throughout Northwest Ohio and Southeast Michigan. We ended up with 9 different companies. Throughout all this, we had a lot of troubles in tying everything together and started an acquaintance with Dexter and Chaney in the late 90s and it moved forward to solve a lot of those problems.
We have a lot of intercompany transactions. Our paving company, for instance, gets all of their asphalt mix from our materials company, buys most of our aggregates from our own quarries. We get most of our hauling from our trucking company, our traffic service from our own company. So we spend a lot of time keying invoices to ourselves and then having to turn around and rekey them into accounts payable just to get them paid. We started exporting the information out of accounts receivable through a Crystal report, created a file that we could import in through Spectrum's AP invoice import. So we're no longer having to handle that same data twice. We can just import it in. And it's been a big time savings. I'd say there's 2,000 invoices a year that we're not having to key anymore by using this.
It is important to be streamlined in all facets of the work, including our overhead. For instance, we use HCSS as our software for estimating. We can transfer our estimating right into Spectrum. Spectrum prints out our subcontracts, which saves time. Spectrum can give us our cost information, and it's very fluid, very effortlessly.
We recently, within the last couple of years, implemented a time and attendance system at all of our physical locations. We have about 30 physical locations outside of our main office. Employees clock in and clock out at their location. It transmits the records automatically. No collection required. They clock in, clock out, get sent to us here where we can see it, edit it if we need to, and then the files are downloaded and dumped right into Spectrum. We did all that timekeeping by hand before, timesheets going back and forth, being faxed, being brought in with mail, and it wasn't very efficient. It's a very important piece of what we do because we're talking about people's pay. So it needs to be accurate. It needs to be, get to us in a good way so that we can process it appropriately and we don't have a bunch of junk to deal with in processing the payrolls.
Well, another challenge of having 9 companies is sometimes you just need to see all your information consolidated. So at the end of the week, our CEO wants to see one aging. He doesn't want us to have 9 different agings in front of him and then him have to add up this customer and these 4 companies and come up with a total on his own. So we've been able to take the Spectrum information and pull it out through a Crystal report and put it in one consolidated aging. So he's got one report to look at the end of the month, which is great for him.
Possibly 5 years ago or thereabouts, we didn't have the automation between Spectrum and our estimating software. And at that time, on a larger job, which most of our Ohio Department of Transportation jobs are fairly large, it would take somebody a whole day to key punch in all of our cost information, and then another possible day and a half to get all the subcontracts entered and out. Now that time is maybe 5 minutes to upload into Spectrum and another 10 or 15 minutes and we have subcontracts written. So just a huge amount of time saving.
Technology makes things so much easier in what we do. So we need to keep up with technology, and I think with partners like Dexter and Chaney, we can move forward and do that.